Well, welcome everybody to our online program on addiction and recovery from the Sunshine Coast Health Centre up here in Powell River, BC. And we've been talking about one of the interesting findings we found from our big research project we just completed. And that was that 100% of our participants believe that their drug use was a conscious choice. And again, this flies in the face of what we keep seeing on the television, reading newspapers, magazines. It's the idea that the addict is powerless over his addiction. But the conscious choice is really quite interesting, right? We talked last time about drug use as an act of an addict to pay attention to himself. At least in our research project, 100% of the participants had talked about how they lived their lives, always being pulled here and there and feeling under pressure from work, family, friends, whatever's going on. And that drug use was the one time that they felt that this is my time. So I can get rid of all this clutter and all this pressure that I feel is being put on me, and this is just a time for me. And there's a very interesting fellow. His name's Francis Seeberger. He's a philosopher, but he's written about addiction, and he's spoken at addiction conferences. And one of Seeberger's arguments is that drug use for an addict is an act of agency. And by agency, he just means things I do to feel in control of myself, to assert myself, things like that. Seeberger says, like in most of the addict's life, he feels he has no control, or she has no control. But in the drug use, this is where they actually feel they're taking control. And Seeberger borrows a line from a very famous book by Augusten Burroughs, where Burroughs he's describing his drug use. And Burroughs says, I see addiction, or I think drinking actually was using, but I see my addiction as an escape hatch, but also as a destination. Now, most people, I think, are familiar with the escape hatch idea. So I'm feeling overwhelmed, or I'm feeling, I'm so stressed out. And so I use the drugs to get rid of the stress. But Burroughs says that's only part of it. There's this other part called a destination, someplace that I want to get to. Right? And Seeberger really picks up on this and says, if you just look at the escape hatch idea, then you're going to miss what's really going on. He calls it a half-truth. And he says, like all half-truths, it masks more than it really reveals. And so Seeberger highlights this idea of a destination. There is a place that I want to get to because of this feeling that I attach to this drug experience. And it's not because so much I'm medicating myself or I'm escaping negative affect or whatever, but it's a place that I choose to go to because it makes me feel good and I feel okay about things. Again, it's this idea of choice that Seeberger highlights. And again, this is not anything simplistic like, oh geez, well, should I get loaded or not? No, it's not nothing to do with that. It's not a moral issue or anything like that. It's an act of a human being, and what does an individual human being do to feel some sort of control in his life? To feel somehow this is my life, and I'm going to do it. And for addiction, Seeberger says that this is what the addict does. Now, of course, it's a counterfeit way of doing things, and it doesn't work, and all the rest of it. But still, it seems to be maybe, this is what the addict is actually doing. And this is certainly borne out by the research project that we've just completed here. Anyway, that's it for this program, and we'll be back next time with a new topic.